What's going on, guys? We're here at the Warren Cat booth. We got Andy Cook from Warren Cat and my buddy Sheldon here. Andy's going to tell us a little bit about this Forestry edition. Sheldon's got 8-air tree clearing. He does some mulching. I've helped him out a few times, ran his Forestry mulcher, and found him over here at the Cat booth. So Andy, would you tell us a little bit about this
Absolutely.
machine?
Thanks, Eric. So my name's Andy Cook, Warren Caterpillar. We're here at the Tulsa Farm Show, Midtown Tulsa. Right here in our booth, we've got a Caterpillar 299 D3. This is what we call our land management machine. So this one right here is our higher horsepower 299. It's 110 horsepower. Weighs about 12,500 pounds without the front attachment on it. This machine right here is going to push right at 40 gallons a minute of hydraulic flow when in the XHP mode. It'll also do 30 gallon a minute flow in standard high flow, we call XPS, and then also your standard flow configuration as well. So you got 3 different options depending on what attachments you want to run with it. For display right here, we've got a mulching head on the front. This mulcher head is one of our bigger ones, and it's going to be right at the 40 gallon minute flow requirement. So this is where this mulcher head and this machine pair up the best. This right here is our most common machine for the forestry application, just because the way it's configured, and I'll explain that a little bit. So this big guy right here, like I said, is the 110 horsepower machine, but the big difference on it is this one has all of the debris protection package on it. So when I talk about that, up top, as you see up here, a lot of people think this is an additional air conditioner, but it's in fact just a hydraulic cooler. So what we do is it's an extra reservoir, and we pump the hydraulic fluid from the tank back up top, goes back to the tank. What that does is going to drop your hydraulic temperatures about 20 degrees when running in really hot ambient temperature weather. But what that does, which doesn't sound like a whole bunch, but 20 degrees makes a big difference when running in the hot summer sun, running a big mulcher when you're pushing 40 gallon a minute. So talking about the debris package, so what sets this apart besides the cooler on top is all the extra protection packages on it. Like this one's got seals that go around the bottom of the cab to keep the cab, the belly pans clean, keeping foreign debris out. You've also got protections around the air filters. One thing really important, a lot of people don't realize, is this one right here has driveline guards, and what those do is it helps protect the hoses from debris, from rock, from stumps, things like that, from getting up and hitting those driveline guards and kind of stopping in mid-production. So one of the unique things about Caterpillar that's a standard feature for us on any of our compact track loaders is we have a torsion suspension. So right here on the 299, this is your front axle, and we've got your rear axle back here as well. So what that does is it's independent to give you a lot smoother ride compared to a rigid frame design. It gives you a little more flexibility and a lot smoother ride. This machine also has ride control, and we recommend that on this bigger tractor when you have a 3,000 pound mulcher head on the front, because it just gives you more a comfort ride on top of the torsion suspension. Also, this machine right here, which we also configure on all of our compact track loaders that we order for stock, we put triple flange idlers and rollers on it, and what that does, it keeps your track on better in the event that it becomes loose or you're working on a hill, which if you've ever had a track roll off, it's one of the most bad timing events that can happen because you're never prepared for it. So as you come around the back side of the tractor, the 299, as part of the debris package, you can tell it's got guards on the back. You've got a turbo guard, exhaust guard, just a lot heavier built all the way around. So back here on the engine compartment, you can see it's wide open, accessible for doing your daily maintenance, routine maintenance. This is being 110 horsepower, it does require DEF. So it is the bigger engine machine and EPA requirements. Again, all your seals. The great thing about the Caterpillar that we preach is we have everything laid out where it's easy accessible for your daily maintenance, because we want you to do that. we appreciate your parts and service business, but we want you to be able to operate and maintain your machine by yourself. And if you need us, we're here for you. So everything is simply laid out for your daily maintenance, from whether it be your fuel filter to your engine oil, engine check, oil check right here, your hydraulics. Everything is wide open. Also, and we'll go around the front here in a minute and show you on this tractor, but we want you to clean out the belly pans, especially in a debris application such as mulching. It's very important because of the amount of debris flying around. Even though it has a debris package, it's not 100% deterrent to keep everything out. It takes out a bunch of the potential issues, but it's important to still check it. So always look at that. You can see you've got wide open accessibility to get it where you can use a blower, a leaf blower, air compressor, or whatever. So this side over here, it's just like the one we just looked at on the left side. You've got your counterweights. Highly recommend those for obviously counterbalance, also for side protection. Caterpillar also offers a rear bumper all the way around it as an option to mount a winch. I don't have one on this tractor, but they do make one. Over here on the right side is a mirror image of the left side. Also, one thing too, I'll go ahead and show you over here. It's not on this machine, but this is a 259 D3. So one cool thing, whether you're buying a 259, a 226, 289, or 299, it's the same cab. So right here we've got the 259 lift up to show our customers what sets us apart on how clean and open our underbody is. As you can see here, everything is wide open and accessible should you need to get underneath for some reason. And also just for recommendations for cleaning it out too. A couple times a year, once a year, depending on how you use the machine. As you can see, you've got the one-piece cab right there. This machine is super easy to open and close. I did it yesterday by myself. We want you to clean and maintain your machine. A clean machine is a happy machine. So
cut down on that fire risk.
That's right. That's right. As Sheldon, especially on a mulching application, fire is not your friend. Yeah. Which, speaking about that, so that's actually an option on the land management machines, the big 110 horsepower packages, the repackages. They actually have a fire suppression option that comes fire suppression ready with all of everything lined inside the cab and below the engine compartment. Should the fire happen, you can actually suppress it. Another option on the 299 land management is, you might have seen them out there, but they do make an option where they have called saddle tanks. And the saddle tanks are left and right hand side, and what that does is it pulls the fuel tank out and gives you more fuel capacity on the back, but also more counterweight. A lot of guys are liking that because it helps minimize the risk of fire, and also gives you a longer production day with having more fuel on the back.
Well, how many gallons does that add to it?
On that one, I want to say it's an additional 40 gallons of diesel. Don't quote me on that, but I want to say it's drastically a difference for sure.
Now, does the saddle tank on the sides completely replace the main
Correct.
tank?
Yep. So what they'll do, the plastic tank and the bottom of the engine comes out, and the two saddle tanks go in replacement of it. It's about a $10,000 option, but it's once you have one, you won't go back to it. Very, very common. And again, it helps minimize the event of a fire should there be one. I've sold several of them. My guys like them, but I've also sold several of these as well. It's just a lot depends on your maintenance program and also what kind of material you're going through too as well.
So this has a polycarb door on the front?
This has a polycarb door, so we order all of our high flow units standard with that. When they first came out 15 years ago, there was a big concern of it turning yellow after a couple of years, and it's not near as common as what it was because of times and production's changed. So all of our high flow units are ordered with it, and we're starting to order a lot of our standard flow with it because people are tired of shattered glass, and understandable.
Right. That cooler up there, how do you clean it?
So it has some bolts on the other side you actually take off. It's pretty much you don't really mess with it a whole bunch. Okay. It's kind of self-contained, but there is a lid on top you can use should you get some debris in it. It's all self-contained. You can use to clean it out, but it's pretty much isolated by itself for the most part.
So that's solely just for the hydraulics.
Correct.
Up there.
Yep.
And just radiator back here only.
Yep.
Then.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
Whereas the other ones have stacked.
Yep. Yep. So, and like we talked about on the part of the debris kit, you've got light guards on the front and rear. There's actually an option now on the 299s and all our machines where you get side lights if you want. But when you get this machine that has the cooling pack on top, you lose that option because the cooling pack's in the way. But a very common machine for our guys in the mulching and land management field. A lot of guys also like this because it's the same type of connections down below, whether you get a hydraulic coupler or in this case a manual coupler. So you can still run your buckets, your grapples, your augers, anything else. So this just gives you an unlimited options of how you want to utilize this machine. This just happens to be the ultimate land management package.
So everybody always wants to know cost. What roughly is the forestry machine cost like
this? You know, it's one of those things that it's kind of a moving target because every dealership's different. There's different programs going on, finance programs or cash programs. But a long story short, for this particular show, the machine only that we're offering right here is $129,000 as it is without the mulcher, just a machine and bucket only. The mulcher right here, we have a show special for right at $40,000.
Now, is this a cat-made mulcher, or is it?
So this is a cat mulcher. It's actually an FAE mulcher in conjunction with Caterpillar that we've partnered with them on. So, but all the parts for this mulcher are actually in the Caterpillar parts log. So we can all the local dealers have access to ordering parts.
Is this the biggest one that this machine can run, or
no?
They got a different
so
size?
We have one bigger one. This is called an HM416. We also have an HM418 that's a little wider cut. That's more designed for this machine or the ones with the saddle tank. So this is an HM416. We also have one. We have two different styles. We have one that has a bite limiter and one without a bite limiter. This one right here does have the bite limiter on it, meaning that the hood here is fixed. What that does is if you do hit, if you do and you stall out, it re-spools a lot quicker. A lot of guys are starting to go that for being more productive. The standard mulcher head that does not have a bite limiter on it has a door on the front, and some guys do like that because it allows them to grind up the byproduct a few times longer and give a smaller result for their client. It's just one of those. It really depends on what your end goal is and what your clients prefer.
All right, man. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, Eric, thanks for coming by.
Thank you for
y'all have a good day.
Talking to us.
Please call us if you have any questions.
All right.